Hey guys, Neopanos here. For this video, I'll be basically doing the side mission, or not side mission, but main quest for NCR, where we're trying to get the Great Khans on our side. I do not know how long it will take me. If I have any other time, I will be trying to get some like skill books, or if I notice I need like speech or anything like that, I'll actually go take a little detour and get a few skill books, so I don't have to use magazines or anything like that, or use a level up to, add skill points. For most of this video, I'll just be silent unless I feel I need to do commentary on something. With that said, uh, check out the rest of the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Means a lot. And I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Not now, I'm busy.
Mr. House isn't a man to be trusted. Watch yourself.
The runners are saying that the NCR is sending in their elite shock troops to try and push back the Legion.
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub? Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you? Don't you dare mention the NCR under this roof. They are butchers without honor, killers of women and children. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The Great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes. You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory. In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here. They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them. When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down. Oh, they claimed it was a miscommunication, but tell that to those who saw our families butchered. Tell it to the survivors who were banished here. Typical. Farewell. It's always a pleasure to see you around the camp. You're...
Not now, I'm busy.
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans? That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure. and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar. I suppose if asked I would, but that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere. Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre, and sometimes I worry that's poisoned his mind. Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider.
Ah, you're back. What else do you need?
Caesar's veterans will arrive from Arizona soon, and there will be no stopping our victory. They're a tribe of fine warriors with many proud traditions and a glorious history. They will be worthy additions to the Legion. My name is Carl. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the great Khans as a token of our alliance. In exchange for great Caesar's promise of all the lands west of New Vegas, the Khans have agreed to fight alongside the Legion when the time comes. I am one of the Frumentari. It is my duty to scout the waste in Caesar's name and make contact with any tribes that might serve a useful purpose. You might say I'm somewhere between a scout and an ambassador. I'm assigned here as part of the alliance between the Legion and the Great Khans. Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle. Speak then.
Ah,
I heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment. Name's Regis. I'm Papa's second-in-command. You might say I share your concern about Caesar. You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory of the great Khans, and he sees Caesar as the path to that restoration. Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. He listens to his tribe, and to 4 voices in particular: me, Jack, Diane, and Melissa. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, you might be able to sway him. I have my doubts about Caesar, yes, but I won't publicly go against Papa Khan based on nothing more than doubts. I've heard rumors that tribes who aligned with Caesar in the past were torn apart and reduced to slaves. Prove it, and I'll back you. You'd have to talk to them, but those 2 have been thick as thieves since they were kids. Convince one, and the other will come around. Ah, Melissa. She's a bit of a dreamer. Last time she was in camp, Carl filled her head with stories of serving the Legion as a speculatore. Personally, I've never seen a woman in Legionnaire's armor, so I have my doubts. Good. Oh, one more thing. Caesar's representative, Carl, has become fast friends with Papa. Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture. Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but I suspect his actual opinion is less flattering. Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion, or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa. I would too, if I were you.
Ah, let me see that. Filthy savages. Probably have to decimate the lot of them? Are these the words of our friend, Caesar?
Great Khans, drive Caesar's dog out of our camp. If he's too slow to flee, kill him.
Over here!
You like that?
You like that?
Hey.
I'm beginning to hear troubling rumors from my advisors. Would you know anything about that?
Seems like everybody with a stake in the...
You're not one of my regulars. Hey, it's not like I'm super attached to working with Caesar or anything. But if it'll stop his patrols from harassing my runners, I'm all for it. I haven't heard anything like that. Do you have any proof? Okay. Come on back when you do. Helpful? You've got a point. Selling meds to the locals could be a pretty nice side gig. All right, I'll tell Jack to give it a try.
The Mojave is gearing up for something big.
Whoa, new guy. Huh? Look, man, me and Diane, we don't dig on that politics stuff, savvy? We just make the product and make it get to a good home. Sure, Caesar's a drag, but as long as we've got each other, we don't care who the top dogs roll with. Dude, what a total haul. No way that's Kopashishi. Yeah, okay. Me and Diane got your back. No sweat. Oh, it's cool, man. I got your back. Already on it. I whipped up a few stim packs already. But if you've got any more recipes, I'll take them.
Nice robot.
How's it going? You can ask, but why would I do that? Carl told me all about the life in the Legion. He says I've got all the makings of a speculatory. What? No, What do you mean aren't allowed to serve? Why would he lie about that? That lying little weasel. I almost fell for it too. All right, you've got a deal. You can tell Papa I won't support an alliance. Later.
Evening.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for...
Yes. Did you have an update on the cons? An alliance? That's an interesting proposition. Any plan where I can throw packs of raiders at the enemy instead of my own soldiers is a good one. We don't have time for diplomacy. This battle is coming any time now. If the leader won't be budged, he'll have to be replaced. I want you to go back to Red Rock Canyon and assassinate this Papa Khan. You'll have to be stealthy. If they see you do it, they'll kill you. Then why are you wasting my time? Yes. Did you have enough? They're organized, I'll give them that. The few times I've encountered them firsthand, I've been impressed with their discipline. I've heard they don't allow women in their military, considering them nothing more than breeding stock. Their men, however, are typically quite large, in phenomenal condition, and prefer close-quarter weapons. Recent engagements have taught us to fear their shock attacks, so it's a blessing that we seem to have superior firearms. I've never once seen a single one of them back down or disobey an order. They'll happily charge a fortified position with little more than a sharpened stick if ordered to, and do so without hesitation. Yes, extremely so. They must use conditioning routines on par with the Rangers or better. Their soldiers can run near half again as fast as my best men, and close distances with frightening speed. And they're as strong as they are fast. Their superior physicality makes them extremely dangerous up close, so I've had the men run drills for taking on larger, stronger opponents. But they've all been instructed to take them down at range if possible. I've made it clear I don't want any heroes in my squad, just survivors. Their standard kit seems to be a blade of some sort and light armor. Guns are not uncommon, but are of questionable condition. While they prefer to use their blades, it's common for them to scavenge better weapons from their enemies and use those. The men have been told to toss their weapons over the side of the dam if they receive a fatal wound, but I doubt many will remember. I can only spare a few more moments. What did you wish to speak about? I don't have time to discuss all the different aspects of the NCR with you, but if you want it all in a nutshell, the NCR is progress. If you wander around the wasteland, you'll find all sorts of tribes, villages, and such where people spend most of their time trying to survive. The NCR gives its citizens a shot at something more. We have laws, currency, healthcare, government, all the things that were lost. It's not perfect, but it's worth protecting, which is why we also have the largest military in existence. I joined up at a young age. Was barely 16 when I left home and volunteered to be in the military. Got a few strange looks at first, but those stopped when I got top marks across the board during training and became an officer at 17. A few years went by, my squad helped take down gangs of raiders here and there, and one day an invitation to join the Rangers arrived. Those were the best years of my life. Doing something that truly matters, and having the freedom to handle it as you see fit. Then I got injured. Everyone was very supportive. I received a promotion to colonel and given greater responsibility, but my days as a ranger were over. I do, sometimes. There are days I'd give anything to be out in the open air, planting explosives and laying down covering fire. But here I am, stuck in the same stale office day after day, while other people get to do the actual fighting. But enough reminiscing. Do you have other questions? It's a position of some strategic importance to the NCR, providing power and water as it does. It's moderately defensible, with a single point of entry on the east side. To get to the power plants below, the enemy has to cross the entire top. The Legions tried to cross the water on a few occasions, but slow-moving boats make easy targets for sharpshooters. Good. I've got more work than time to do it.
Evening.
Yeah? You honor the Great Khans with your presence. What do you want to know? Nice robot.
All four of my most trusted advisors have told me we should break our alliance. Maybe I should hear you out after all. I've heard some things from my most trusted Khans that makes me wonder whether this alliance is a good idea after all. But I want to leave a legacy of greatness when I die. My tribe deserves better than this, cowering in a canyon and living on scraps. Tell me then, if I don't join with Caesar's Legion, where will I find my tribe's lost glory? Well spoken, traveler. Well spoken indeed. Perhaps it's time to find our own destiny, unburdened by the past. We'll begin readying the camp to move. As soon as Caesar makes his move, we'll depart. We will make ourselves strong again, and we shall conquer. You've helped me see Caesar for what he is, and I thank you for that. But if you suggest that again, I will have your head. We'll remain until the camp is packed up. If you have some plan, see to it quickly.
Soon Caesar will send in his best troops from the...
All four of my most...
You honor the great Khan. Seems like everybody with this...
Ah,
stake in the Mojave is gearing up for something big.
Welcome, sir or madam.
Hey!
Yes. Did you have an update on the cons? Good riddance. We've had reports for years that they're the ones who supply the fiends with chems, but no one's done anything about it. In any event, no one will miss them. And I've got another mission for you. We've had some disturbing reports recently concerning the Omertas, one of the 3 families that run the Strip. Our intelligence has discovered that high-ranking members of the Omertas have been having clandestine meetings for the past several months. We haven't been able to determine whom they've been meeting with, but if it's Caesar's men, we'll need to act. I need you to uncover what they're up to and stop it if it threatens the NCR. Any questions? Our preliminary research shows that the Omertas used to do some business in Freeside, mostly buying weapons. Any other questions? Head to their casino, Gomorrah, and ask around. If you discover that what they're up to threatens the NCR, stop it. The Omertas themselves likely won't be forthcoming, so you may need to talk to some of their help to pick up a trail. Anything else? Liza O'Malley at the embassy may have some information for you as well. Dismissed. Hey.
Evening.
So at this point, we're just picking up a few skill books. I'm looking right now for the science ones. It says, shoot. Of course, I've lost it. Nipton and Camp Hope inside Major Pilates. Far right corner on a desk.
Hello.
So right. There we go. Okay. I don't think you're in too much trouble as long as you only take like items like that. Magazines, books. I usually don't take the magazines if they're red, unless I really need them. Okay, so let me go to aid. So we find, what's the book called? Big Book of Science. There we go. So you can tell it weighs 2, value 50. And this is where the perk. Okay, so comprehension. Double the bonus from reading magazines and 1 additional point from skill books. So when we do the skill book, it's 4 points instead of 3, like it usually is. And then the magazines are 20 instead of 10, like they are for default.
Hey,